Welcome to today's training session for QQEvolution. Today what we're going to be doing is covering downloads. As you see, we're here at our dashboard for QQEvolution, and now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to the left and we're going to click on it, QQ Downloads, and go ahead and access the Downloads drawer. Downloads are opened up. Let's go ahead and let's take a look here. Up at the very top we have our Setup button. Now our product support department will help you set this up. Let me go ahead and pull this up a little. Now what this is, when you come in here, first off, we have Enable Automatic Downloads, and you can set up a time. You're probably going to want to do it for sometime in the middle of the night or early in the morning, say 6 o'clock. Now your computer does have to be on for these automatic downloads to run on whatever computer you have doing downloads. You can't shut off a computer because, then it wouldn't be getting its feed across the internet, so it does have to be on. So you can set it up for automatic if you'd like. To the right of this, you can create a form for the auto transactions. Would you like to use our generic auto quote form? Would you like to use the actual Cord Personal Auto app? Or would you like to use both of them? So when an auto quote comes through, it will automatically put the information about the auto policy onto one of these accords for you if you'd like. It will automatically put it in there. Now down below here to the left, we have match mode. Automatic means that any transaction that comes through will automatically be put into QuickFile. Now there can be a downside to that, because when you have an automatic transaction come through and it's automatically put in there, if you could have an existing client in there, say with the last name, Smith, the transaction comes through and maybe the last name isn't spelled exactly the same way. It has it, S-M-I-T, like Smite, okay? And it doesn't match it. So what will happen is it will automatically pull that transaction through and create it as a new client. So then you'd end up with a duplicate client. Okay, so that, and also same thing with policies. If it can't find a match, you'll automatically put it in as a new policy. Now, if you don't want that to happen, some people don't mind that because we do have the ability to combine duplicate clients within the software. Some people don't mind it. And automatic is great if you're starting out fresh and you don't have existing clients in here. That's a great thing to do. Or you can set it to manual. And it tells you down here, by the way, what this does. What manual will do is when a transaction comes through and it can't find a match, you can't find a client to match, or it can't find a policy match, or so on, it's going to stop it. And it's going to make it as an unsuccessful transaction. And all the rest that find matches will go ahead and go through. What it then does is give you the opportunity to match that client up with the other client. So if it came through as SMIT, it would catch it. I would be able to go ahead and match it up with my other one that actually was last name Smith and say it is the same client, and it will send it into the same client. And that way I would not have duplicate clients. Okay, same thing with policies. Also, if you do not have, and this will happen even in automatic mode, if you do not have a matching NAIC code or insurance company in here, which we explained to you in the utilities how to set up, it will stop it because you have to have that existing information in here. It has to have the insurance company's name in here along with its matching NAIC code. Over here to the right is just your transaction status. It just tells you, how many are pending, archived, unsuccessful, and so on. Underneath here is where you have to set up your Ivan's account information. Now, when you start doing downloads, first you have to have it activated on our account. Then you need to contact an insurance carrier. Generally, you want to contact an insurance company that you do a lot of business with. And you're going to call them and say, hey, I want to start doing downloads, and my agency management system is QuickFile. So what they'll do then is they'll go ahead and set you up with an Ivan's account. We do not set you up with the Ivan's accounts here. You have to contact an insurance company. You contact only one of them. And you might have to go through a couple of them before you find one that's willing to set you up right off the bat. But usually if you do the one with your largest book of business, they'll go ahead and set you up an Ivan's account. Once you get that information, you can come in here and you can install this transfer manager, or you can simply at that point give our product support department a call. And in here, they'll walk you through setting up your mailbox and all this information right here, your connection, putting your account information, and so on. And then they'll have you save the information. They will also help you configure your transfer manager for the account. Okay, so we will help you do that. But first you will have to contact an insurance company, get an Ivan's account set up, and have that information. I'm going to go ahead and just click cancel here because I'm not setting up anything. Up here also we have NAIC code assignments. So we do have assignments here. As you see, I do have quite a few NAIC codes in here already. And I can go ahead and I could select one and I could assign it right from here, the NAIC code if I wanted to. So I could just go down the line, boom, 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 right from here and put in the NAIC code. Or again, as I had said earlier, you might be setting up right off the bat when you set up your insurance companies. And you can also set them up in there at any time. I'm going to go ahead and close this. Up here at the top is where we go through our transactions. We'll be going through that in a second. Here's where you can view your download report. After your download comes through, it will automatically ask you if you'd like to review your report. You can answer yes and view the report. Or at any time you can come up here and click on View Report. It asks you for the download date range, what type of transactions, how you'd like to sort them. You can hit OK and see the report for that transaction date range. Here's where you can refresh the screen, and this simply closes out the quick download program. You do open the quick download program as I showed you from QuickFile, but once it's open, it is basically a separate program here. Now down here in the middle we have all, and this is all transactions that I have going through. We have successful. These are all the transactions I've came through and have successfully went into QuickFile. We have unsuccessful. These are transactions that came through and maybe something wasn't matching, or there was some issue with it, and it stops it, and it means that you need to give it some type of attention, like maybe match it up to its proper match, or maybe there is no match and you want to make it a new client. Here's where you have miscellaneous print. Some companies, especially like say Progressive and stuff, will send through miscellaneous information that can't go into the management system software, and you can print that out, and you can also choose to save it as a letter on that client. So you can save this miscellaneous information, and there'll be instructions here how to do that. You can save it into the letter section on that client. And here's where you're going to view your discarded transactions. And this is transactions that you are getting rid of. Now up here at the top we have got transactions. As you see, I have nothing lit up. Right here where it says download and process through transactions through Ivans, this is what you'll come in and click on if you manually are processing your transactions every day through Ivans. You just click on that. Your transfer manager will go out and connect with Ivans and pull the transactions in. Now some companies like say Progressive, like say Erie, and I think Mercury, there are some out there that they use their own software to download the transactions with from their own companies. And in that case, like say Progressive, you have to contact them in order to have them set their program up on your desktop, on your computer, and then you'll access that to download your transactions, and they'll go into a folder of ours called pending. And if there are any transactions waiting to be processed, this process pending transactions will be lit up. You click on it and it will process any of those pending transactions. Here we can go ahead, and if we have any unsuccessful transactions, which I do not, we can reprocess all those unsuccessful transactions if we'd like. We can also, if we're on a transaction, let's go ahead and select one. If we click a transaction, you see these light up. I can click on View this client in QuickFile. So I'm on a client. If I click here, it'll take me directly to that client's file within QuickFile. I can also choose to discard this transaction. I can choose discard. Am I sure I'm going to discard it? Yes. And now it's going to be over here in my discard section, waiting for me to get rid of it. Also underneath here we have delete all successful transactions. So I can go ahead and permanently delete these out of here, and it just drops into archive folders into your desktop, into your local computer here. But this will delete them out of here. You do periodically want to do that, otherwise you're going to get a pile of successfuls sitting in here, and there's nothing that you do with them. They've been successful, they've went through, so they're done. So periodically you want to do that so they don't get piled up. And then once you have things discarded, you can go up to transactions and you can restore the transaction. Maybe something happened, maybe you accidentally deleted that transaction, God forbid, for some reason, and you want to restore it and process it again. You can go ahead and restore it back, or you can choose to delete all the discarded transactions, which would go ahead and delete any transactions you have out of here and go ahead and get rid of them for you. And that is basically the gist of the download section. It's pretty simple, okay? At first, if you are new to this system, you already have some existing clients in here, and when your transactions come through, you might want to make sure that if you're set up to manual, so that you can, because you'll have some transactions probably that come through that might not match to what you have manually entered into the system, and that way you can get all the matches done up properly. It's up to you, but as I said, if you're starting out fresh, you have no clients in here, definitely set it up to automatic, because there's nothing in there to stop them. There's no matches to be made. And then after a while, if you do have existing clients and you're on manual, after a certain amount of time, like say maybe 6 months or so to cover your bases, you can go ahead then and to set it to automatic, because you've probably already gotten all your duplicate clients through, and you can go ahead and basically probably everything that's coming through are new clients. Now some of the insurance companies, when you call them, you can request them to download what is called your book of business. Some of them will not do it, okay, but some of them will, which means, especially if you're starting out fresh, is they'll go through and they'll download your whole book of business with that company. So they'll go ahead and, since the beginning of time, put in all your clients with that company directly into our software for you. Okay, that would save you a lot of manual entry and a lot of headache. As I said, though, some companies won't do it. All right, so that is basically our download section. I hope everybody has a great day, and thank you for attending.